All right, everyone, it's time to talk about healthcare reform, or maybe not reform. Who knows? Who cares? The GOP has totally failed on this. It's not just John McCain, by the way. And I want to tell you a tale of two politicians here. But first, let me say, I would have uploaded this earlier, but I went out to the farmer's market, had to get all sorts of goodies. You know, they've got handmade soap. They got Vietnamese food there, which, by the way, is to die for. I think it's Taste of Asia is the place. But I got a bottle of Captain Morgan's, actually. I was going to watch Treasure Island over and over later and drink rum and, you know, sing sea shanties. I dropped it on the floor in the garage. So now it smells like a piracy out there. So it's actually pretty awesome. I think I like it better on the floor than in my stomach. But we got to talk about Rand Paul and John McCain, because I couldn't think of a funnier situation here. Here you've got a chance. Trump options what is it, Graham Cassidy sort of healthcare reform. And Rand comes out and says, well, I'm not going to be able to vote for this. It's like watered down. It's not going to do anything. This is pointless. What the fuck are we doing? And Trump tears into him, actually, and says, well, he might be known as the Republican who saved Obamacare. John McCain comes along. He says, well, I'm also not voting for it. Now, John McCain's reason for voting for it, voting against it, is basically, well, Trump likes it, and we can't do anything that Trump likes because I just want to stonewall until this fucking tumor finally nails me off. Rand actually has sound reasons. I may not fundamentally agree with Rand on anything. I haven't looked over this bill enough to know whether I would have supported it anyway. At this point, I'm so ambivalent, I don't even care. The GOP needs to stop focusing on this. They need to move to tax reform, talk about North Korea, talk about immigration, things that matter that they can actually get solved, something that can be accomplished. Otherwise, they'll be just as dysfunctional as the Boehner Congress, and they'll shoot themselves in the foot. They'll look bad, and the next president would be a Democrat problem. Maybe that's what John McCain is edging for. Who knows? But look at the media coverage of these two individuals. Both Republicans, both in the Senate. Rand is more youth-friendly, more sane, a little more of a firebrand at times, not necessarily as good at getting his message across without occasionally getting a little bit too angry. Like that time he had the live stream, towards the end he just quits. He's like, I don't even know why I'm fucking doing this. But John McCain gets a standing ovation from all sorts of people across the spectrum. Oh, wonderful hero, John McCain has saved us again. Oh, what a lovely man. He was a prisoner of war. Now he's a prisoner of the Trump administration. Oh, what a wonderful... And he stands up for himself. Oh, we don't take marching orders from Trump. You know, you did when W was president. I never saw John McCain debate any points with George W. When it came time to go kill, 500,000 people, John McCain said, oh yeah, what a wonderful idea. We must support the president. Clap, clap, clap. That's all John McCain did. Obama comes along, oh, well, you know, I'm just not going to do anything. I'm not even really going to say anything strongly worded against him because I'm terrified of being called like bigoted or something. He doesn't do anything. Rand stands up for what he believes in, whether it's right or wrong, in like my or any other estimation, whether it's popular or unpopular. He sticks to his guns. What does the media say about him? Rand the obstructionist, or they just ignore him. Now you look at the double standard. This is within party. This is within the GOP. Okay, you've got two individuals, both in the Senate, both GOP. One of them, who is a desperate warmonger, a totally corrupt career politician, has about as much youth appeal as Amos and Andy, which is John McCain. Everybody fawns over him. He saved us. He saved America. What a swell guy. Wow. In 2008, we almost wish John McCain had won. What a wonderful person he is. Rand Paul gets the shaft for doing exactly the same thing for more noble reasons. John McCain isn't trying to save America. John McCain's trying to save John McCain's career, what little is left of it. Rand Paul, meanwhile, actually has principles. Again, I don't even know if I agree or disagree with him on it because I'm so ambivalent about the issue. I'm tired of the Republicans talking about healthcare. It's pointless. They're not going to get anything done. Ryan Care comes along. The Republicans themselves shelve it because they're like, well, you know, it never even gets out of the House. McConnell Care comes along. Oh, well, maybe a little bit better. And Trump comes out and says, well, yeah, it's kind of good, but it's not generous enough. It's kind of mean. And so that gets shelved. Rand comes along. He tries to pass something. Now Graham and Cassidy are trying to... When are they going to get their ship straight? When are they going to do something that actually can pass? At this point, just leave Obamacare there. Let it fail. Let it fail and don't even bother repealing it. You don't have the balls to do so. Trump and Rand and a few of the others have balls within the Republican Party. Most of them don't. Let it fail. Just leave it alone. Let the American people see just how desperately negative Obamacare will be in the fairly short term, the next couple of years. Let it become a midterm issue. Trump should come out to the American people, say, Congress needs to get things in order. He already said, he gave Rand kind of a pass. He said, well, I like Rand, he's a good friend of mine, but I disagree with him, and, you know, he doesn't want this moniker. John McCain, helpfully, though, and this is the funny part, stole the moniker of Republican that saved Obamacare from Rand. Rand would have gotten that title, except that Rand was largely ignored by the media. Thank you, legacy media. You just did something helpful for once, saving Rand Paul's career and putting the ire on John McCain, who doesn't ultimately care. You know, he's got brain cancer. He's not going to be around much longer. This is his last hurrah, his current term in the Senate. Even if he survives to the end of it, I don't think he would seek office again. He'd be too old. He'd be declared unfit. He'd be primaried and he'd lose probably at this point. He's not going to be a Strom Thurmond sort of character. I think he'd be demented by then, if we can say he was sane to begin with. But here you have some people at least attempting to reform healthcare, regardless of what you think of the fucking reform. And once again, it fails. Okay, is fourth time a charm? Is this enough to convince you that you don't have your own affairs in order to be able to pass any meaningful legislation on the topic? You'd be better off focusing on immigration. Oh wait, the John McCains and Lindsey Grahams stand in the way of that too. How wonderful. Here you've got the real problem, a handful of holdouts in Congress that just want to work for the agenda that was voted for. Trump and all of these others were voted for by their voting base, specifically to do what Trump is suggesting be done. Reform UN, which won't happen, but he's trying. He's doing all that he physically can do. Go hard on North Korea. It is kind of important at this point. They've got a hydrogen bomb now, probably. Immigration reform. They've done a half-assed job. Trump's already gotten the bare minimum basis for the border wall. He got the exploratory funding, did that. He got the basis of funding for revamping existing infrastructure. It's a meager start, but it is a start. DACA's gone. Who knows where the negotiations on that go? Trump's doing just fine compared to the John McCains of the Republican Party. And he got increased border security. And he's struck down the TPP. There were some Republicans who were banding around the idea of supporting it because they were afraid of being called bigoted by Obama back when he was the president. Obama was the last one, the Democratic Party, even supporting it. John McCain would have been more likely than some of the Democrats to support it at that point. He loves globalism. It would have made him a shit ton of money for arms dealing. But John McCain's just a warmonger. Anyone applauding him as the savior of the United States, my God, you're such that's totally nuts. No, give Rand Paul the credit. If you think that this was important to defeat, you should be giving Rand Paul the credit. Because he's doing this based on his ideological beliefs. John McCain's doing it to be an ass. Sometimes an ass does something assy and a good result happens. Okay, if you think that that's the case, fine. Give John McCain some lukewarm applause. You're trying to declare him the Messiah. You're almost elevating him to the status you normally just leave for Obama himself. Or Hillary Clinton. How crazy is that? The same John McCain, bomb Iran. Oh yeah, he's a deeply moral individual. He cares a lot about human lives. He cares about them when he's shredding them up with shrapnel or dropping napalm on them, like he's wont to do. Had he been elected, he probably would have done it twice as much as Obama. It wouldn't have been a covert drone war. He would have played cowboy like W. And you're applauding this man? And you're calling yourself, oh yeah, I'm a leftist. Praise John McCain. You've gone nuts. I'm sorry. I think there are too many nuts in this world for it to function properly. Now, I understand we're going through the confusion of the end of a paradigm shift. We're in peak moral panic, so things are screwy anyway. John McCain's another level of screwy compared to most of what's going on in the world. Oh, I love it. It says John McCain, a war is so fun. Wow, we can nuke people. It's so great. We're going to burn them alive. Oh, but I care deeply about the American people. You know, the same American people that probably get blown to bits in a foreign theater if I got my way on foreign policy. But I care about them. I care about making sure they're pretty corpses after I'm done with the dirty work of propping up Halliburton just like Dick Cheney. That's what he's all about. All he's ever been is a warmonger. He doesn't care about this issue. He cares about his career. He cares about his image. I think he's still banking on Trump will fail, and therefore he's trying to be like the anti-Trump up until the bitter end. Well, good luck, John. History may not remember you so fondly as you think for that. You realize you're basically in bed with the Clintonian Democrats. Meanwhile, you criticize Trump for shaking hands with Schumer and Pelosi. So he's damned if he does, he's damned if he doesn't. He supports a healthcare deal. Oh, well, evil Trump, I must stand against this. It's horrible. He opposes the healthcare deal. Oh, he's obstructing Congress' will, the will of the voters. He shakes hands with the Democrats. Oh, he's sold out. He watches John McCain shake hands with the Democrats. Oh, I'm such a moral person. What a wonderful thing. Praise Obamacare. Yeah, that same thing he campaigned against over and over. Oh, Obama wants socialized healthcare. I don't want socialized healthcare. You know, I want to keep the intervention healthcare going like we already had before Obamacare existed, like it was fundamentally that much better minus the mandate. It's the same thing. Costs rise. Pharma companies dictate medical policy. What more do you need? Oh, just a mandate. Oh, yeah, we'll add a tax. That's all they did. We had a tax and then subsidized a handful of people on the backs of millions of others, so that 10 people suffer for one person whose life is improved. What a wonderful system that was, and John McCain likes it. He thinks it's great. As long as people are suffering. I think he has weird tendencies, don't you? I'm not a fan of John McCain. I am a fan of Rand Paul. I stand by Rand. If Rand says he thought it was a bad idea, I don't think he's just doing that for political reasons. I actually think that he has some nobility. I don't think that about John McCain. I couldn't. Look at what he's said over time, the things that he's done and voted for. You think he's got one shred of dignity left in him? He's basically a machine at this point. Doesn't have a soul. He barely has a brain, honestly, at this point. That's about all. Peace out.